And how to build your profile and showcase executive presence. A little bit about me, Amanda Schagane. I've been on campus for 14 years now. I work in organizational development over on the healthcare side. My background's largely in career development from the campus side. I moved over to the healthcare side of the organization 2 years ago. I also serve as faculty for the College of Communication, adjunct faculty. I teach CIS 300, Strategic and Professional Communication. And this module, LinkedIn, is one of the sessions that I teach in that online class. So get a lot of feedback from students on this one. I love self-assessment. So you'll see that on my profile here. Any assessment work that helps leaders to understand more about themselves and their style. I'm always a big advocate and support of Clifton Strengths, DISC, Myers-Briggs, emotional intelligence, conflict mode inventories, 360s. I love all of that. And the more that you as a leader know about yourself, the more you know how to harness your superpowers as a leader. Passions and interests. I love learning and crafting. I love trashy TV. So if you have recommendations for my Hulu queue, please private message me or message me on Teams. I want to hear about that. But today we're really going to do a deep dive into LinkedIn. So I'm curious, in the chat box here, locate the chat box on the bottom or on the top, depending on what interface you're using. Let me know your experience level with LinkedIn. Are you new, don't have a profile yet? Do you have a profile but rarely access it? Or are you an experienced user of LinkedIn? So locate that chat box. Let me know where you're at on LinkedIn so far. Now I'll say the PowerPoint that I built today is a lot of screen grabs from my own, and yours is going to look different. It really should. Everyone's profile should look a little bit different depending on the type of expertise that you're wanting to showcase. And I'll challenge the group to please make this session what you need it to be. If you need to watch and you're a note taker, if you have a scratch pad for notes, that's fine. But if you need it to be more of a working session where you edit your LinkedIn profile as we go, please do that. If you're on a Dell, you can use the Windows left or right arrow and do split screen, or if you're on dual monitors, please make it a working session, make it what you need. I know many folks are online or on their lunch hour, and that's fine. If you're eating while we're chatting, that's completely fine. And so glad to have you. All right, let's look in the chat and see what we've got. Old profile, haven't used in a while, experienced, novice, forgot that I have a profile. That happens, no judgment. Some folks will even say like, oh, have a profile, but haven't updated it in a while. Profile rarely used, experienced user, mid-level. Okay, all right, so we've got a good split. So as we go through, I'll do my best to highlight some ways that our experienced users can continue to polish their profile. But for the folks who are on the more novice side, don't be overwhelmed with what we got. Even starting your base profile is a great place to start. You can always go back and polish too, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it. What is LinkedIn? Well, LinkedIn is an online network for business professionals and students, and it's specific to professional networking. So imagine it as Facebook with a briefcase. It can help us maintain and establish business relationships. It can help us stay connected with former coworkers, even college buddies, to see what they're into for work. But it's a great way for personal networking and logging your personal network. It's also a really good place to stay up to date on the latest trends, news within your area of expertise. Okay. Your LinkedIn profile really puts a social spin on your resume, if that makes sense. It connects your work experience to your education, to your accomplishments. And there's lots of visual ways that you can get references and cues from colleagues in one place for everyone to see. So I hope that I'm not having to sell you on LinkedIn if you've already opted into the session, but know lots of benefit in using LinkedIn for networking purposes. Now, for our folks who are more novice, navigating LinkedIn, the interface looks a whole lot like Facebook. You'll see in the middle here, maybe swivel over so you can see my mouse. In the middle here, you'll see that there's a feed. And over time, that will become more customized as the software learns what your likes are, what your following is, companies that you're going to follow. We'll talk more about that soon. Groups that you're involved in, we'll talk about that too. And people that you're connected with. So as your connections are sharing content, it's going to show up on that feed. Okay. LinkedIn is also really helpful in identifying second and third degree connections. So second degree connections being someone that I know and who they know. So I might know Shelly, and then LinkedIn helps me understand more about how I'm connected to Shelly's connections. Okay. And so you'll see sometimes on your feed that Shelly, I'm calling you out just as an example because you're on, you spoke most recently and you're on my feed there. That if Shelly liked this article related to her work, then I'm likely to see that in my feed as well. Okay. You'll see at the top on the interface there, my network, that's where you add new connections. The job board on there, which is pretty good. If you use it more and more and you set up some notification preferences, it's pretty good. The messaging is for one-on-one messaging or group messaging, depending on what your goals are for that. And notifications, very similar to other social medias that you're likely using. It'll prompt you when you get a message or when someone likes something that you post, or if you engaged with a post, if you commented on someone's post because it was their work anniversary and they said congratulations, if they write back and say thank you, you'll see a notification in there for that. So those are kind of the highlights of that homepage. Let's do a little bit of a deeper dive and talk about what makes up a really good profile. So as we go through the different parts of the profile, some of you that are more experienced may be like, oh, I got that. That's already done. That's okay. But for those who are more novice to LinkedIn, or if you haven't used your LinkedIn profile in a while, you haven't updated it, it's time to start updating that LinkedIn headshot for sure. Okay. Some characteristics of a really good profile picture. Of course, the data tells us that folks who have a profile picture are 7 times more likely to be found in those searches. So it really helps search engine optimization. And a few things on the screen here. We want to have good light on your face. It's not selfie close, if that makes sense. It's not just your face, but it includes your shoulders. So it's more and it doesn't have to be taken by a professional. When we say professional headshot, technology is good enough now that if you use, really, you can use portrait mode or you can use regular mode and have a friend take a photo of you in professional attire, and that's perfectly fine. That's great for LinkedIn. What we don't want to see on LinkedIn is group photos. Like if you went to Keeneland a couple of weeks ago, I'm not judging. That's fantastic. I want that kind of photo, but that's not ideal content for like your LinkedIn headshot, if that makes sense. So this is more buttoned up in that way. Okay. Professional outfit doesn't have to be taken by a professional. It can be taken by a friend, but you're in professional attire. Okay. And then keep in mind your affect, you want to have a good warm smile on there. Okay. Okay. So in the chat, when was the last time, some of you, I'm curious to hear, when was the last time you updated your photo? Was your photo from 10 years ago? Or was it just taken recently? We'll watch for those. Okay. All right. I see one for recent. Very nice. In the last year or two, that's fine. That's fine. But if we're talking about a photo that's maybe 20 years ago, then maybe it's time to take a refresh photo. So add that to your scratch list of things to do as an action item from the session today. Okay, let's talk about profile, headline, and the about section. So if you go to your profile on the interface, if I'm looking right here, you'll go up to the top of the page and you'll click the one that looks like, if you don't have a photo yet, it'll look like an icon. But if you have your photo already uploaded, you'll hit your photo, it'll take you into your profile. Okay, that's where we're going to spend some time. Your profile headline defaults to your current title and your organization. So give me some examples in the chat here. What are some example profile headlines that are out there already? Okay, if you've customized them, even better. Okay, I'll watch for some of those to come into the chat. Someone says too old to timestamp in the chat. I'm not judging you one bit, Jeremy. It's time to update it. Okay, University of Kentucky on there. Sometimes it'll even say like organizational development at University of Kentucky. So it'll pull that in if you haven't customized it. One thing that you might consider customizing, and I can see that some of you already have done that. Very good. Jennifer's in the chat is a good example of this, is to customize it with a really keyword-rich headline that describes how you want to be known for your brand. So if we're building executive presence, if we want to be known as a thought leader in this area of expertise in research or in patient care, then we need to brand ourselves in that way. Okay, so I can see one, patient care manager at UK Healthcare. That's one of the default ones, and that's fantastic. So if we want to even customize that, we could say healthcare professional or healthcare leader at UK Healthcare. Or if there is a specific area or population of patients that you serve, that might be appropriate there. You decide ultimately how you want to be branded. Okay. This is the first thing that someone will see when they see your profile. After your picture, right below that, it's kind of like a tagline there. It's likely what's going to be what they identify with you, like just as a quick snippet there. Okay. This updates as you enter your work experience. So if you have work experience entries still to edit, do this task last. Or whenever you update those work experiences, it'll default right back to what it perceives as your most recent job title. What else? I think those are the big things for that one. If you're looking for where to make this edit, when you click into LinkedIn, click on the Me tab where your picture's located, click View Profile, and then click the little pencil icon. When in doubt on LinkedIn, you're looking for that little pencil icon. Yes, okay, there's a good question in the chat. Can all of this be done on the free version? Everything that I'm going to talk about is on the free version. I'm using the free version, and I would not recommend that anyone on the call pay for the upgraded version. Okay. That being said, LinkedIn, it's their job to try to sell you on it. So if you really know, very few people need the paid version. The different versions of LinkedIn that are paid, there's a recruiter version, and I'm guessing our folks in recruitment on the healthcare side, I'm thinking of those teams who are using this to source talent for UK, are likely using a very different interface than we are, and those are paid versions. But as a candidate looking to establish your brand as a professional on there, no need to do the free version. Okay, we're looking for that pencil icon, and that's going to help us edit different sections on our profile as we go. Okay, let's talk about the About Me section. Okay, the main objective is to inform viewers of who you are and what's important to you and what you do. Okay, this section is kind of like your elevator pitch when you're meeting someone new or you have a new colleague join the team. Maybe you're having someone new on your team that's shadowing you and you want to tell them a little bit about your background, right? Just so that they can get a sense for where your background is, where you come from. Okay. So in the chat, I'm curious, what are some of the most important things that you want someone to know about you as a professional? I'm not looking for the whole narrative here, but if you were to bullet point out, or if you're working on your scratch list, that's fine. What are some things that you want professionals to know about your area of expertise? Okay. I'll watch for some of those to go. Good, good. What else? What am I known for? What do colleagues come to me for? Might help you in brainstorming that. So in the chat, one phrase or less, maybe 10 words. What do you want thought leaders and colleagues to associate with your brand? Okay. Consider these for your headline and your about section and how you're going to work on it. Okay. If you're really stuck on this, I'll give you a tip. If there's any folks in the group, if you've used AI yet, if you upload your resume or your CV onto ChatGPT or other AI types of software, and you say, I'm looking to work on my LinkedIn profile, can you write a professional summary that's in third person for me? It's very good at that. Okay. AI is not a good final draft, but it's good for like an initial draft that you can start to edit. Okay. All right, very good. Rebecca has good tips in here. Highlight your story, but also certifications. So someone says, I want to be known as a problem solver. I want to solve long-term solutions. That's fantastic. Yeah, very solutions oriented. Good example. Okay, I'm going to keep us rolling. Professional experience section. Okay, this one is where you want to log your experience. And sometimes folks will ask like, maybe I have many years of experience. Do I want to log them all? Well, it depends. If you are looking to do something different at UK in your career, looking for a career change, it is good at UK to show longevity. UK really likes to see that loyalty to the organization for sure. But there's no requirement that you include every piece of work experience that you had. So for example, if you were in grad school, I'm thinking about my experience, I was a TA in grad school. That's probably still at the very bottom of my profile, but at this point, it's less relevant to the work that I'm doing. So now could be a good time for that type of content to be removed. Now it will prioritize it based on the end dates whenever you're doing it. So you'll see whenever you're populating in your experience, it'll go most recent back in time. And that's so that whenever other thought leaders are scanning profiles or you're looking for other colleagues on there, you're easily able to see where they currently work. So it'll prioritize now and then back in time. Okay. So this feature will help make you more findable to previous colleagues who remember that you worked at XYZ before you were at UK. So maybe you worked at Baptist before you came over to UK Healthcare, for example. They'll be like, oh, yes, Marcia, I know her. Fantastic. So one thing to keep in mind for LinkedIn is at UK in general, we use very specific job titles, and sometimes job titles don't always best describe the work that we do. And I know for those that are in these job title series, you know what I'm talking about. Administrative Support Officer 3 versus a 2. Sometimes the UK job titles are very specific in that way. It's okay to include other job titles or your functional job title. So I'm trying to think of an example, feel free to put one in the chat if yours falls into that, and we can use yours as an example. But if your work is more easily described as project manager / then that UK title, that's completely fine to include there. You can use that as an example. Okay. One thing I'd say for the experienced users, you don't have to put every job description in there. Even having your battery of experience is fine, but you don't have to have all of the bullet points if you don't want to. That's one way that you can take your profile really from like good to great, is to add those in, but it's not required. So folks who are new, don't worry about putting in necessarily all of those descriptions, but even having your job titles and your history so that you can show your longevity at UK is a great branding statement. Okay, any questions from the group in the chat? I'm looking here to see if there's anything about experience. Nothing yet. Feel free to put those in the chat. That won't bother me at all. We'll take them as we go. Education section, make sure you're really specific here. Make sure whenever you put it in that it tags the, I'm guessing lots of UK alums here, amongst friends here. Whenever you put in University of Kentucky, that it tags the company so that that logo comes through. Same thing for the employer side. I didn't say that before, but if that company has a LinkedIn profile or a page, it's always a good idea to go follow that page so that they populate quickly. And then whenever you enter them in there, it'll populate pretty quickly on there. Degree details for education is good. End dates and start and end dates, I feel like that's very relevant. I mean, if it was in the last couple of years, if you're using the EEP program to better yourself and you just finished your bachelor's degree or a master's degree and you want to highlight that as a recent accomplishment, put those dates in there. But if over time, if those are further back, those dates are less significant. Okay. For some of my students who are more concerned, or non-traditional students who are more concerned about maybe age discrimination factors, they may choose not to include those date ranges, and that's completely fine, not a requirement. Activities, societies you've been part of, clubs that you've been part of through education, if it's relevant to the work, you're welcome to put those on there too. This is more common with students than the employees that I've seen. Okay. Absolutely, Lynn, absolutely. And that goes both ways. So for folks who just choose to not include dates on education, just to avoid that, that's completely fine. LinkedIn, it won't give you an error for that, specifically for that reason. Okay, let's talk about recommendations and skills. So if you haven't used your profile for a while, this is a way that you could start working on it to make it maybe good to great from this one pretty easily. You can go into the skills section over here on the screen and type in different skill sets that you want to be known for. So we'll do this one in the chat too. Give me some examples of skill sets that you might type in there that you want to be known for in your job. Okay. I'm saying like someone might put patient care as an example. You can see mine. These are recent ones from a screenshot that I did earlier this week. Career development and career counseling. That's a big part of my background. I want to be known for that. Experience with Tableau. Yes. Grants administration, healthcare administration. Yes. Employee life cycle. If there's specific softwares, that's a great thing to put in here. Specific buzzwords related to your subject matter expertise, or any researchers that are on the call that have like a very specific research area, we want to put that in there, okay, under recommendations. So you list the skills and then you go into other people's profiles and you endorse them for their skills. What happens is they get a notification in their homepage and they say, oh, Mira recently recommended or endorsed me for career development. I should go into her page and endorse her for skill sets I know of her too. So there's a level of reciprocity that'll naturally happen over time. And for you as a brand expert of your own brand and hoping to showcase executive presence, the more people we have endorse a specific skill set, the more inherently it means when people visit your page that, wow, this person really knows what they mean about this area of expertise. They know it. Okay. There's a question in the chat about, do you have suggestions for the order of the skills section? And LinkedIn used to default to the one that you have the most endorsements for would be at the top. And in the last couple of years, they've allowed you to customize that. And so my gut says this would change over time. It depends on what your goals are and what you want to be known for. So over time, if you're working in one area and shifting to another, maybe getting more exposure to grants as an example, I've seen that in the chat, then we might highlight grants administration, even if it has a couple of endorsements on there. That's still a really nice one. Okay. Okay. I see default is still there, but you can reorder them. My gut says the default is still by how many endorsements you have, because that's how it used to be that you couldn't customize them. Fantastic. Thanks for that, Lynn. Okay. Recommendations. Recommendations are so nice to see on a profile. And it's not a letter of recommendation. It's not like a formal, if you're applying to a graduate program or if you're applying to something specific where you have to have a printed letter on letterhead. It's not like that. It's usually just a quick paragraph, a couple of sentences from former colleagues or former bosses who can recommend very specific things about your work and your area of expertise, your brand. My best advice for how to get some recommendations on your profile is to go write some recommendations for your current and former colleagues. The more specific you are, the stronger these are. Okay. So if you go into the system, you go down to recommendation, you'll be able to see given and received here. And so you'll be able to click in there and see those. Now you can choose, let's say hypothetically, I go and I write a recommendation for Lynn in the chat here. I go over and I write a couple of lines for her about her area of expertise. And she gets that recommendation and she's like, oh, this is kind. I appreciate those words, but it's not exactly what I want to highlight right now. You have the ability as the user to say, I don't want to showcase this one right now. And you can kind of hold it behind the scenes on there, or you can even like reorder them in terms of what you want to showcase. So if you're a more experienced user of LinkedIn and you already have some recommendations, go in there and think about the priority of how you want those to be showcased. At quick glance, we know that folks are spending, just maybe a minute just flipping through this type of content. What do we want that very first recommendation to be? And what do you want to be known for in that way? Okay. All right. I think that'll do for that one. Okay, adding visual elements. Let's talk about other ways that you can add visual elements to your profile. Okay, the featured section is relatively new and it's a great way to do this. I'm curious in the group, is anyone else using the featured section? Featured, you can share links to media, you can share links to previous posts on there. I'm using it to highlight like pre-post data that I've done with groups that I'm really proud of, or photos that I really, are really important or special to me. So be thinking about 3, 4, 5 things that you would want to rotate out on a featured post. And that's something that I would recommend you update every couple of months as you have new content to do. So if you just recently published a paper or if you presented at a conference, always take the opportunity to share that content on LinkedIn. Recently shared a poster at this conference, snap a little photo of you in front of your poster, and then go back to that page, click featured where the plus sign is, and then share the link to that post, and it'll populate up on featured. Okay. What else? You can also add media under a specific job entry, and this is a great way to feature a project that you worked on or good press. I had a student a couple of years ago who was conducting an international job search, and she wanted to showcase somehow on LinkedIn that she was well-traveled, that she just didn't want to move abroad because it was pretty and fun. But to showcase that she had experience, she had exposure through her military experience, being at different bases all across the world. And so she used the media option under featured and built, I don't know if she did this, I can't remember if she did this in Canva or in PowerPoint, but she had a map of the world and she had dropped a pin somehow on all the spots that she'd traveled to. And she put that on the top of her featured page. She put a pin, or she pinned the post where she did that. Okay, question in the chat, where can you find featured? My gut says that if you don't already have it, it'll be under the enhance profile button right here or under the add profile section if you don't see it automatically. Okay, check one of these two options right here and see if you find it in there. Okay, feel free to pop any other questions in there. That's completely fine. Those are some tips just to get you started on featured. Age proof your profile. Okay. When you're working on your resume, we don't necessarily want to showcase our age to the group. And same for LinkedIn. That's not the biggest part of my brand is my age. I want my area of expertise to be what I'm showcasing. So if you received an award or your degree more than 10 years ago, then it may not be important to include specific dates on that. That's completely fine. If you have work experience from 20 plus years ago that's less relevant to what you're doing now, it's okay to not include that. That's completely fine. Okay. Also, older job titles, update them to what it's more commonly referred to as now. I'm trying to think of some examples for that from in my previous role in alumni career services. This would come up sometimes that folks would have like a more dated job title. It's okay to modern those or to even include those as like new job title / old job title is completely fine. Okay, do you know who this guy on the photo is? Put it in the chat if you know who that is. This dates me a little bit. Yes, it's Waldo. Okay, this dates me a little bit. And if you recognized it as quick as I did, your childhood was probably spent watching for Waldo in the books. And he was fun. He's hard to find. He's a hard guy to find. For folks who don't know who this is, Where's Waldo is like a children's book where you would have like a complex picture with lots of little people who are dressed like him, almost just like him. And part of the game in the book is to find Waldo. Well, the goal with LinkedIn is we don't want to be so hard to find. We actually want our professional content to be very easily discovered. We don't want to be Waldo in this scenario. So there's a few ways that you can make yourself more discoverable or more found, easily found on LinkedIn. So a few things that you might consider are customizing your LinkedIn URL and putting it in different places. So customizing your LinkedIn URL, if you're looking at your profile page and you look up at the web browser, if the last couple of digits, the last 10 digits or so are random numbers and letters, you haven't done this yet. If it already has some form of your name, my gut says you've already done it. So you can't do this from the phone. You can't do this from the app. So if you're making those edits now on your phone, it won't work. It has to be on a computer interface to do this one. You go to the page where your profile is, and on the top right, it'll be a little pencil icon that says customize your profile URL. And I would recommend making it some version of your name that's easily put in different places, like on a website or on your resume or within your email signature. Okay, on your business cards, because we want to drive traffic to that LinkedIn profile where you're sharing content about your area of expertise. Okay, adding your industry and expertise to your profile so that thought leaders can find you in that. If we want to be known by something, we have to write that up. We have to have it somewhere on our profile. Now, one tip that I'll give to folks is to be very careful about how you set your job seeking preferences. You'll see those. It's not on the profile page, it's underneath settings, and then there's a job seeking preferences. There's a preference on there that says open to work. And you want to be really mindful of that some organizations use that filter to do recruiting and some don't. And then sometimes, depending on how your settings are, you'll see sometimes folks on LinkedIn will have open to work on their banner image or on their profile picture. Okay, be mindful of that. If you're conducting a confidential job search, you do not want to be publicly putting on LinkedIn your job seeking preferences. So I just say that as a warning for folks who are more novice users in this. Be careful about those privacy settings on there. Okay. What else? I think those are the big things for this one. We don't want to be Waldo. Let's talk about the power of the network of LinkedIn. So a lot of folks will, especially students, will say, "Oh, do I have to do this? Is this just a thing that's just going to sit online and I'm going to have to go update every so often?" It actually is a really powerful tool. Okay. We're talking about the power of second and third degree connections in your field of expertise. So I'm curious in the chat, Victoria, I see your question. I'm going to do that next while I'm watching for this in the chat. In the chat, What's your comfort level with reaching out to a stranger on LinkedIn and introducing yourself? Someone who published a research article in your area of expertise that you have a question about. What's your comfort level with just reaching out to someone that you don't know on LinkedIn to say, hey, I read your article. I have a question about it. Okay. While I'm watching for those to come through, I'm going to answer Victoria's question here. Banner image thoughts. Banner images are easily customized if you're a Canva user. If you are looking to customize it, if you're just looking for like a more basic banner image, if you do a Google search for LinkedIn banner, and then instead of doing the search, you click images on it, you can find lots of easy ones that are canned and ready to go for that. So if you're looking for the easy way, I would say Google LinkedIn banner, click images, and then save one of those images as on your computer and then upload it as your banner image. It's not a have to, but it's a nice thing. It's a good thing for branding. If you're an experienced user and you're looking to really customize your LinkedIn profile, looking on customizing one on Canva and including content that's very relevant to your area of expertise or an image that represents your work. I'm thinking about our healthcare colleagues pulling a picture of Chandler Hospital or Kentucky Children's Hospital. If that's a big part of your brand identity is working with a specific population of patients, then that might be a strategy to consider. Okay. Okay, I hope that answers the question. I'm going to go back to our networking question. What's our comfort level with reaching out to a stranger on LinkedIn and introducing yourself? And it's split. Mostly like, I don't know about that. Slim chances that I'm doing that. And then a couple like, oh, I could do that. I could do that. Really, the power of LinkedIn makes it so easy and approachable to do that. It is meant to be a conduit or a catalyst for networking in that way. And so if you are hesitant, if your hesitancy comes from I don't want to bother someone, you're not likely to do that on LinkedIn because that person on LinkedIn is already saying, I'm presenting on this great stuff. This is my area of expertise. You're probably going to ask them a question that they love to talk about the answer to. Okay. So if that's your hesitancy, if your hesitancy is, no, I don't think that I would ever do that, then that's okay. No one's trying to change your mind on it. But know that LinkedIn is really about seeing the power of second and third and sometimes even fourth degree connections. Okay. If we're looking to present with a specific group or network within a specific professional association, maybe you want to present at a professional association's conference next year and you want to put in a proposal, but you know your proposal would be stronger if you partnered with someone else from another hospital system or another university that's doing similar work. LinkedIn can help you source that networking and to find a colleague to do that kind of presenting on. Okay. All right. I think that is it for that one. Okay, pages versus groups. In the top of the search bar there, take a moment and on your profile, on the search bar within your LinkedIn logged in there, take a moment to look up a company that you worked for before you started at UK or a professional association that is relevant to your area of expertise. Okay. If you are a UK alum, this one here, UK University of Kentucky Alumni Association, there's a page and a group for that. While I'm talking about benefits for each, start working on adding some of those as an action item. We follow pages to learn about content that they're sharing. So if we have competitors that are in healthcare that are helpful to follow to know what's going on with research, that can be helpful. And then whenever we follow different pages and join groups, it helps make our feed on the homepage more customized. The more we do of this, the more that feed page becomes very customized to what our interests are. Okay. We follow pages to learn more about good press from organizations and companies and clubs that are sharing those. Okay. We want to learn about their products and services and latest news. So if you're not already following the Alumni Association, the main UK thread page, the UK healthcare page, go follow those. Go follow them right now so that you are in the know on what our organization is talking about for trends. Okay. It can help us see how we're connected because whenever you go into an organization's page, if you go to UK Healthcare and you see how the employees, my gut says you're going to notice a lot of those names. You're going to be like, oh, I know that person. We were on a similar work group. And you can add to your connections list from there. Okay. You can also see statistics on employees, including where they worked before or after that company, which is helpful. You can follow companies that you're interested in getting updates on. I'm thinking about vendors that we use for UK healthcare or partners that we have out in industry. It could be really helpful to know what's going on with those groups. Okay. That's a little bit about pages. Groups, we use groups more to interact, and they usually are pretty involved more in like discussion boards. So we join groups relevant to our professional interests. Alumni groups, like the Alumni Association one, if you haven't joined that, please do join it. Industry groups, specific geographic groups, like if you're into hiking, like there's specific groups even to that. So use groups to make connections within other thought leaders in your area of expertise. We do this so that we can establish our brand as a thought leader in that area too. But the big piece is it helps us to keep our eye on trending issues for our industry. Okay, so let's do some examples in the chat. I gave some examples. Alumni Association, the UK Healthcare page, the main UK page are ones that we all have in common. But in the chat, what are some groups or I'm more interested in groups, I think, than pages for this one. What are some groups that you joined that are relevant to your interest that might be helpful to the others in the group to see? Okay, give me some examples. Job Club, yeah. So I'm thinking about Kirsten, she works over in the employment team, and Job Club that's hosted out of the Alumni Association. They share a whole lot of job postings that are relevant to Kirsten's work. So sharing, seeing those and posting in that group and interacting with candidates as she's hoping to get us top tier candidates at UK. That's fantastic. Okay, Jeremy's saying CBMI, College Business Management Institute. Lots of UK folks go through that. Fun fact, that was my first job at UK. When I was 15, I worked for CBMI years ago. It's very fun. But CBMI, if you're an alum of that group, do join their alumni group. That's a fantastic one. Okay, that's good. Those are a couple of examples. Feel free to populate others in the chat if you like. All right, keeping your LinkedIn profile up to date and complete. Every time you update your resume, you have a big project, you also need to update your LinkedIn profile. Okay, we don't want it to be stale, sitting there for a long time without a lot of activity. We want to keep those changes up to date so that we implement those changes. What else? Remember, users on LinkedIn can view your activity. So we want to interact and engage with our network pretty regularly. I'll make a recommendation on that. But sometimes folks, especially students that are taking CIS 300 with me, will say, how often am I actually expected as a grown-up or as a professional to log into this system? Do I have to do this every day? No. And depending on the nature of your work, it might be helpful for you to log in every day, especially if you're in HR and you're sourcing candidates, sure. But if you're just sharing every so often, or you're looking for work anniversaries or looking for updates about what's going on in your industry or with former colleagues, I mean, once or twice a week, a couple of times a month may be appropriate. Ultimately, you decide that. But I would say at least once or twice a month. Okay, at least once or twice a month. It's not enough just to scroll through the feed. You need to interact with it in order for your activity engagement indicators to be high. Okay. Let's talk about the mobile app. Okay, if you haven't downloaded the app onto your phone yet, there are some edits to your profile that you can make on there, some that you can't, like the URL edits you can't make on the app. You have to do that on the web interface. But I want to tell you about the QR code because it is really handy for in-person events whenever you are at a conference. So if you're following along with me, if you have the app, if you're an experienced user, you may already know this, but if you're on LinkedIn and you're on your homepage, if you click on the search button here on the very top in the middle, I don't know how well this will translate over, but if you are clicking into that, you'll see there's a little scanner and it'll populate up your QR code. And if you're meeting someone, if you just want to trade contact information with someone real quick and you can't find a business card, this is a very quick way to log them. And then you can scan, it'll open up your camera on here and you can scan someone else's. So if you're at a networking event and you want to connect with someone quickly, that's a really good one. The app also has the ability to push those direct messages as pop-ups, depending on how you have your notification settings. Okay, here's maybe a it can get kind of annoying to get notifications on every piece of social media. I don't know if you all are often overstimulated by social media. Sometimes I am. And I would recommend for LinkedIn that you have notifications set up for direct messages, like if someone were to send you a private message. But it's not necessary, I don't think, to have notifications for every single thing. Every time someone likes a post that you do or that you've engaged with, I don't think that you have to be activated in that way. So set your notification settings as you like on that. No recommendation specific. That's up to you. What else? Post feature. Okay. On the app, the post feature is much easier to pull a picture than it is on the online interface. So sometimes for me as a user of LinkedIn, I would like to on my computer type out my post so that I can see it all, but I don't always have access to the photo that I took at an event because it's on my phone, and that can be annoying. So sometimes I write posts on the app interface especially if I have a photo to include. But if I don't, sometimes I'll use the interface on the computer. So take that as you are. Use what you like for it. Okay, we're nearing the end here. Other ways to demonstrate executive presence on LinkedIn. Some of these are just like quick tips. Okay, customizing your LinkedIn URL. If you have not done that, that is essential that you do that, because very few thought leaders are going to take the time and researching and trying to find you to type out all of the numbers that's going to take to get to the other one. A relatively new thing that's on the profile, it's up on the top. You'll see this little icon, the little speaker thing here. This is pretty new. If you have a complex name, I wouldn't know anything about that. If you have a complex name that's hard to say, or folks often will mispronounce your name, it could be nice to go ahead and add the voice pronunciation of your name on there. Okay. If your name is easily recognized, that's not an essential thing to do. But if you have a complex name, then it is nice to add on there. Okay. Using the featured content, we talked about this content section, or add media under your current role to showcase big accomplishments. There's a featured section that we talked about earlier that's at the very top of the profile. But for more advanced users, even within each job description, underneath each job entry, you can do a feature underneath each one with media. So if underneath, I'm thinking of folks who may be working more of creative roles who have to do marketing projects, you could give a sample of some of your marketing work, posters or flyers or brochures that you've developed for UK as an example on there using our brand standards. You could always populate that within a specific job entry. Consider adding a banner image or create one on Canva. If you decide to go the Canva route, make sure you register with your .uk or at uky.edu email so that you get access to lots more free stuff on there. It's called an educator profile on there, and you get access to a whole lot more if you use the education. UK doesn't get access to your content on there, but for those who don't know what Canva is a really good design style software for folks who are looking to make like quick posters or quick images and stuff. And feel free in the chat if you have other recommendations for Canva, ways that you've used it beyond what I'm saying, feel free to put that in there. Laura saying, can you repeat that? Okay, we're talking about the banner image within your profile. If you're in your profile, it's at the very top, not the image that's the circle. The circle one is your profile, and that one should be your face, right? We're talking about the image that goes across the top that's like a rectangle, the UK link. Okay, there's no specific UK link, but when you go into Canva and you register with your UK email address, and it'll populate as an educator account. I think that's what you're asking me to repeat. I think I'm following you now. Okay. Okay, a couple more tips. Other ways to demonstrate executive presence on LinkedIn. Log in regularly. Don't let your profile become stale. If you're one of the folks earlier, I'm not judging you for that, who says, oh, I haven't logged in a while. That's okay. Set a reminder once a month or twice a month, every other week, to go in and engage with your network on there. If someone's celebrating a work anniversary, give it a little celebrate button. And the reactions, the reactions are pretty complex now. This is a fun game that I play. Every time I'm on LinkedIn, I want to try to use at least one of these other, besides like and heart. I do like and celebrate a whole lot. But my goal when I get on LinkedIn is to find something that makes me think, like curious about. So those reactions, like, celebrate, support, something that's funny, something that you love, something that's insightful is the idea icon, and then something that made you curious, something that made you think about it. Okay, so challenge yourself to use those. Whenever you use those, whenever you give something the clap icon, that populates into your activity. So know that even if you're giving something a thumbs up, that activity is not private. It is public on your profile. You can share an article of interest. You can give a shout out to a colleague. You can congratulate a former colleague on a new job, or someone on your team who's celebrating a work anniversary. That'll populate pretty often on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is not, some folks are like, oh, I don't want to post on LinkedIn because I don't want anyone to think I'm bragging. No one perceives it that way. That's not the point of LinkedIn. LinkedIn is about sharing content that's relevant that other people may benefit from knowing. Okay. So if it's that you shared content about a poster or that you read a really interesting article, don't hesitate to post that. That's actually really helpful to your network. And as a thought leader, if you're trying to demonstrate executive presence, it's your responsibility as your own content creator to share content that is relevant to your group. Okay. Another challenge is to add connections as you meet people. And that could be people who are on the call right now. It could be a conference that you're going to. It could be a work group that you've been put on or a committee that you've been put on. But I'll say for folks who are in the chat, go to your profile and copy and paste your profile. If you're interested in growing your network today, go ahead and share your LinkedIn profile URL in the chat. And we can even start now to build community. And I'll give you an example. So you can see here, I've customized mine in the chat here, just with my name. We want to be easily found. So if you're interested in growing your network with folks on the call even today, please copy and paste your profile in there and go add these folks. That's fun. Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, keep those coming. That's great. All right. So if you're interested in some additional support for LinkedIn, I've got some recommendations for you. Of course, I teach the CIS 300 class. I think that's for undergraduate business students primarily, but we are so fortunate to have many, many resources on campus. And sometimes we just don't know about it's a you don't know what you don't know moment. UK HR recently hired a fantastic career consultant, Rebecca Dyer. I adore her. She's fantastic. She's so very knowledgeable about career development. And if you haven't met with her, she's such a resource for UK employees. Say, look, someone in the chat's already met with her and knows her. She's great. Other experts that are on campus that are so great, Sue Stroop, if anyone's met with her, she's an expert of all and she's an RN herself. So she works specifically with specific populations within UK healthcare. I know nurses qualify for that. There's some really specific folks that she works with. So go to her website if you're in UK healthcare to see if you qualify for her. See, Marcia's met with Sue. She's great. And then Alumni Career Services. I was on this team before this role. I think so much of Caroline and Amy. And anyone can join the Alumni Association, even if you're not an alum. Okay. And if you're giving to Dance Blue, or if you're giving to the football boosters already, you're probably already an active member with the Alumni Association. Just call over to the Alumni Association and see if you're already an active member with what you've contributed. If not, I bet you're close. And Alumni Career Services is a great resource. Many of our UK employees are taking advantage of student access through employee education, right? If you're also a student, you can take advantage of student resources like the Career Center and other career centers within specific offices, like the Graham Office of Career Management within the business school as an example. So keep in mind, if you're an employee and you're also a student, if you're taking classes, you can take advantage of those student level resources too. Those are there for you, okay? All right, we're nearing the end. I'm happy to take some questions here, but we're nearing the end of the content. And I'm actually going to leave this one up in case anyone wants this one. But I can see lots of LinkedIn profiles being shared on here. I love that many of you have already customized your LinkedIn profile URL. That's a big takeaway, a great way to start that branding on there. Great job. Okay, Shelly, I'm happy to take any questions. If you all have any from the group, feel free to put them in the chat and we'll do it.
Thank you, Amanda. Now, Amanda, do you have an email if they think of questions later that they can reach out to you about?
Sure, sure. Happy to field any questions. Amanda.goldsmith@uky.edu. If you look me up in the system, Amanda Schagane, there's only two of us, me and my husband. You're likely to get back to me at some point. That's fine.
Well, we really appreciate you. I do want to
Happy
send
to.
out a reminder too about our Employee Appreciation Day on May the 22nd. And it's going to be at Kroger Field, and there's going to be lots and lots of activity. So hopefully everybody can make it. Amanda, that was so helpful. I have not created mine yet, and I always look at it that I want to. I have an account, but I haven't created my profile. But now I feel more confident and comfortable in playing around and starting that profile process. Thank you for sharing your insights and your expertise for sure.
Proud of you, Shelley. If you need help, you call me. I'd be happy to
Okay,
chat.
thank you.
There's a question in the chat I see about where to find the QR code again. That's within the mobile app. And when you're in the mobile app, you click search on the very top, like you're going to type in someone's name, but we're not going to. And then over on the right-hand side, you'll see, it looks like, it doesn't look like, it looks like a little weird QR box kind of thing. You click that and it'll populate up your code. If you're looking to scan someone else's, you hit the scan on the top right. Okay. Lynn, you're so right. Finding time is always the hard part. Thank you all so much. We'll leave the webinar up for a few minutes. If you're going in and clicking all of these folks to add them to your network, please do that. That's so great. All right. Shelley, are you all okay to leave this up just for a few minutes for folks who
Yep,
are still
I'm
dealing